There were times where I couldn't get out of bed. There were times where I didn't want to get out of bed. Hand on my heart, I thought, right, my career at the top level in the Premier League is probably over. Nobody wants a player in their 30s who they haven't seen play for 14 months.
I mean, Andros, we've known each other a long time. I remember meeting you right at the start of your career and, and met up with you at various stages. And you're still going strong, 33 years old, still doing it. Did you ever think you would last this long?
It's always been the plan, the way I look after myself, it's always been the plan to play until mid to late 30s, but when you get a serious injury like I did when I was 30, I got done an ACL, missed 14, 15 months. I did wonder if it would happen again. There were times where I couldn't get out of bed. There were times where I didn't want to get out of bed. But like you say, I'm back playing now. I'm fit, I'm healthy, and touch wood, I can keep going for as long as my body will allow me to.
Yeah, that must have been really difficult for you, the fact that, not wanting to get out of bed even. I mean, just go into a little bit more into that if you could. I mean, your mindset must have been all over the shop. Yeah,
it's tough, especially like I just got a big move to Everton, who at the time were a lot higher up in the table than they were now, and 6 months into it to do your ACL and miss 18 months of a 2-year contract was tough for me. And I was always looking to, can I get back? And then when the setback comes, it will knock me even more. So it was an extremely tough time for me. But yeah, I got through it, got over it, I got healthy, I got fit. This time last year, I had to trial at various places. Thankfully, as the season started, Luton needed someone of my experience and where I played on the pitch, and they gave me a chance, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, of course, that was, you were without a club, weren't you? How difficult was that little period? I mean, obviously the Burnley stuff was well documented. Did you feel like your career might be over at that point even?
I generally did. So when my contract ran up at Everton, hand on my heart, I thought, right, my career at the top level in the Premier League is probably over, but there'll be teams in Europe or overseas in other continents who will be desperate for someone like me. That turned out not to be the case. Nobody wants a player in their 30s who they haven't seen play for 14 months. So yeah, I couldn't get a club for love nor money. Decided pre-season I was going to go and train at Burnley. Obviously it's well documented what happened there. That did really knock me. And yeah, if it wasn't for Luton in, I think, end of September, I'd probably have to retire. There was no club willing to take that risk on me. So yeah, I'm so thankful I say it to them all the time, I'm so thankful to Rob, Gary Sweet and the club for giving me that second opportunity that I wasn't going to get.
I mean, Andros, one thing I will say about last season, you seem to really enjoy it as well. I know obviously no one likes to get relegated, but actually, you played with a smile on your face.
Yeah, we did. I think on the outside, it was like, didn't Luton do well? They came in, they competed with the big boys. They went down, but they went down fighting. But for me, and I know other people in the dressing room, we felt like we had enough to stay up. We should have stayed up. We got ourselves into a position just after Christmas where we beat Brighton 4-0. We went to St James's Park, drew 4-4, should have won that game. And we really thought that not only stay up, that we could really push higher up the table. Injuries hit, and we didn't have the depth to deal with that. And that ultimately was our undoing. But I'm definitely motivated to get there again. I know everyone else in the dressing room, the manager's certainly motivated to get us up there again. So yeah, we're looking forward to what's going to be a very tough, hectic season, but hopefully we've had a taste now, or Luton have had a taste now of the Premier League, and hopefully we can get back there again.
I was gutted by the Liverpool one because I told everyone it was going to be a 1-0 win, and then they nabbed that very late equaliser, and of course the Arsenal one went absolute ding dong.
Yeah.
What was it? I mean, was it just sort of game management, or what was it? Do you think?
I don't know, but you look back at last season, there were so many times where we scored in the last minutes, and we had that never say die attitude. But yeah, like it seemed to be the big ones. Spurs away, we had so many injuries. I was playing right wing back, and we went ahead and we conceded in the 88th minute to lose. You mentioned the Liverpool one, Arsenal, last kick of the game, lost 4-3. So many of those ones against the big clubs went against us, and ultimately, if you're going to stay in the division, you can't really concede that many goals late on. And yeah, I think in the end we were relegated by 6 points, but really, the last game, it was 3 points basically, and a goal that didn't go in one of those last minutes could have been the difference.
I know how much you love football. Regardless of your age, are you prepared to sort of, we're not talking about that now, but would you just keep playing, whatever the level, until physically it was impossible, or not?
Probably not whatever the level. I want to play until my body can't go anymore, but as far as dropping down the leagues, I don't think that's something I'd look to do. I'd probably go overseas and finish my career there if it came to it. But yeah, I'm looking to play until my body tells me it can't go any longer, and hopefully that is half a decade away, or give or take a few years.
I felt you never let England down. You always performed well for England. I think you played some of your best football for England. You must be very proud of what you achieved, really, for the through line.
100%. I was never, growing up, I was never really a prodigy, somebody who was predicted to play 300 games in the Premier League or 10 plus games for England. So yeah, to do that, to play 13 times for my country, score 3 goals, to help them qualify for Brazil in 2014, play a big part in that, was just stuff dreams are made of, is incredible, and it's something I'll always look back on with immense pride. I've got the caps in my house in pride of place. I've got pictures up in my house. So yeah, it was an incredible moment to look back on.
Did you enjoy the Euros? I mean, obviously we're all disappointed we lost the finals, but an incredible tournament, really. And of course, you know a few of the lads. I mean, did you enjoy watching it, and what did you think of our performances in general? Yeah,
I was fortunate. I did some co-commentary work with ITV for the Euro, so I went out there for a week. Didn't do any England games, but managed to watch the England games. I thought we were good. I think people tend not to give the opposition credit these days, whereas these teams now are incredible. Everyone's as fit as the top dogs now. Everyone's more tactically aware. Everyone can play in a low block. So we saw time and time again, not only with England but with the other top nations, they struggled to break down these sides, and we were no different. But what we managed to do is we managed to get to a final. We found a way to get to a final, and ultimately we were beaten by a superior side, and we weren't badly beaten. It was when we equalised, I thought we were the better side. We were going on to, there's only one side to go on and win it, but we lost 2-1 to the best side in the world, and there's no shame in that. Yes, the boys will be disappointed, but there's certainly no disgrace in losing to a final, a tight final.
Now, obviously, Gareth stepped down. You played for Gareth. What are your memories playing for Gareth, and was he good for you?
What Gareth has done is he's taken sort of an England squad which was like a business-like meet-up to a family. He really did bring everyone together in terms of like a lot of meetings, a lot of team building exercises, a lot of games in and around the camp. So boys come, and it's not like a business trip. It's I'm going away with my family, and what he's brought like a family unit, and in the end they're produced on the pitch because they're tighter from it. So yeah, people look at Gareth now as like, oh, what did he do? What did he win? But what he's done is he's given England the platform to get to 2 finals, a semi-final, and they're now set up to win tournaments. When before Gareth got the job, we were absolutely miles off it. So no, he's done an absolutely incredible job, and I hope in time he gets the credit that he deserves for what he did for England.
Do you feel it was the right time for him to go? And leading on from that, what sort of manager has got to step into that role now, do you think?
I think it was probably the right time for him. I think once you start getting plastic cups thrown at you after games, it's probably the right time to go. He did an incredible job. He took the team to, like I said, 2 finals, and definitely not in my lifetime have we got anywhere near 2 finals, even with probably a more talented generation beforehand. So no, it's probably the right time for him to go, and like I said, I hope now he gets the appreciation that he deserves for his job. What manager can take over? It's the impossible job. It's the impossible job. I don't think anyone, you look at a Jurgen Klopp or a Pep Guardiola, why would they want to put their reputation at risk when even getting to a final is not good enough? I'd like to see a young manager, a young up-and-coming manager, not Rob, because we want him here, but maybe like a Graham Potter. I think I played against his Brighton sides. I know he didn't have the greatest of spells at Chelsea, but his Brighton sides were some of the toughest games I've faced when I was at Crystal Palace. So I'd like to see him get the job and continue the good work that he was doing at Brighton with the most talented players in the country.
Talking about managers, you played for a few. Out of all of them, who were the most enjoyable ones to play for?
I probably didn't appreciate it at the time, but I always say, looking back, Pochettino was a game changer. Everything that we see now, everything the clubs are doing now, in terms of the way of playing and the way they approach things, Pochettino was doing that back in 2014, 2015, and because I was 21, 22, I thought I knew better. I didn't listen to him, whereas now I'm doing everything now that he wanted me to do back then. He really was a game changer and a trailblazer for what we see now on a week-to-week basis.